Hello. Welcome everyone to my YouTube channel. My name is Stef and I'm a psychic soul alignment coach. And what I do is I work with spiritual entrepreneurs and spiritual people to help them to do very deep levels of healing to align themselves with who they truly are. And as a result of doing this work, they're able to then have their greatest level of success in their lives as well as their businesses. So today's message is a channeled message that I was asked to bring forward today. It's something which I have been wanting to speak on for a little while now, but I felt like it wasn't the right time because everything unfolds in divine timing, and now is the time to bring forward this message and this understanding that my guides want me to share with others. So I do want to say that this might be a bit of an emotional video for me. I'm not sure. And maybe a bit of a long video. So you're always welcome to change the settings on the YouTube video to see it a little bit faster so that it is at the rate that just resonates with you. If you know me, if you have followed me for a while, especially on Facebook, if you've worked with me, you know that I do my best to serve with the highest of integrity and for the highest good of all, and that I'm very mindful of how I bring forward messages, and I do my best to bring them forward in the energy of love and in a way that shines a light on difficult things or dark things, but still promotes love and unity in the end. So that's the focus of this video. Concerning coronavirus, when coronavirus showed up at the start of 2020, it really shocked all of us, and we didn't know how to take it or the origin of it or any of these things, right? Since coronavirus hit, I have seen so many different people speak out on different things concerning why coronavirus is here. And there have been just so many perspectives shared out there and information. And one of the biggest things that I see being debated online is whether coronavirus was really something that just naturally mutated or whether it was man-made. There are people in the world that are seriously divided when it comes to the issue of coronavirus and how to handle it and how to address it. And I've definitely been there myself. So please know that whatever I share today, I'm not judging you because I've had to go through my own journey with coronavirus. But what I've observed is that there seems to be, on a spectrum, very strong opposing views. And there are those people who believe everything that they read from their governments and health officials around coronavirus and are very afraid of it, are taking precautions, really want everyone to wear masks, get upset if people don't wear masks, are very afraid, and just taking all the measures possible to keep themselves safe, and really believe everything that they are being exposed to concerning the numbers of infected people and deaths concerning coronavirus. And then there are a group of people that question everything that the government shares or that health officials share, that don't believe it, that feel this is all part of a big conspiracy theory. This is all part of a evil plan, in a sense, of an elite group of people trying to control the world. And there are some people that even believe that coronavirus doesn't exist at all, that it's all made up, and they don't want to wear masks. And yeah, they're on that end of the spectrum. So there are these two opposing sides. Now, what my guides wanted me to bring forward today is that the issue of how coronavirus came to be isn't what really matters here, in a sense. That's not the focus of that's not the purpose of why it is here. The purpose of coronavirus is to help us come back to our humanity, is to help us to develop inside of ourselves greater love, compassion, empathy, and understanding for one another. But people right now are just so divided with their views, their perspectives. They are in their own little boxes and are just seeing it from their perspectives, that it's hard for them to really hear the other. It's hard for them to really be able to go beyond their own unique view. And so when we get caught up in these opposing views, we're not really connecting to our humanity. We're not really connecting to unity, to oneness. We are remaining separate. And what they also wanted me to share, well, they didn't want me to share this. What I want to share is that there are so many people right now who are debating coronavirus, and there are some people that don't think that it's real. And I want to share with those of you who might doubt this. And please take whatever resonates with you from this video, and whatever doesn't, feel free to leave it. You are here to choose your truth and follow your truth and find out for yourself what the divine truth is. But in my experience, and after working with or talking to other psychics, coronavirus is something that is real. My psychic friends can feel the energy, they can see the energy. They've been treating people with coronavirus. So it is something that is legitimate. Okay? It is, in fact, existing. And yes, there might be certain forces that are making it to seem more widespread than it is. There might be certain forces that are making it seem as if it is infecting a lot more people and killing a lot more people than there is. But all of that is besides the point, in a sense. Because when you just focus on those things, I'm not saying not to keep them in mind. I'm not saying not to not be aware of maybe other potential agendas happening out there. But what I'm saying here is that when you are just solely focused on that, you're keeping yourself distracted from the real purpose of why coronavirus is here right now, which is to help you to reclaim your humanity. It's to help you to come back to love, compassion, empathy, understanding. That is what makes us human, our emotions, and being able to express our emotions. And when you're just so focused on all these other things, and that's all you're focused on, you're just focused on the problem. You're just focused on lies being told. You're just focused on feeling like the government is stripping you of your power. You're just focused on the next evil steps happening, and whatever it is, and you're just focused on that. You're potentially missing out on really being human with other humans. Coronavirus is here to teach us how to learn to be in the shoes of the other person. It's teaching us how to see beyond our own unique point of view and to try to see things from the point of view of others. And because right now there's such a large divide between how people are perceiving coronavirus and handling it and all these different things, quite oftentimes this really strong divide, and this is a generalization, I'm not talking about you specifically, okay? But because there's a strong divide, those, for example, who are very afraid and who are taking all the precautions and feel like people should wear masks 100%, they might be so strong in their view and their own boxed way of thinking that if they see a person who's not wearing a mask, they might automatically make some judgments or assumptions about that person, get upset with that person, angry, go yell at them, go tell them what to do, whatever it is. And all that does is create further divide. Because when you're being angry at this person and you're frustrated at them and you're trying to report them for not wearing a mask or whatever it is, and you're taking all of this kind of aggressive action or energy towards them, you're not connected to love. You're only seeing things from your own limited perspective and interpreting their not wearing a mask as whatever it means to you. And you're getting frustrated with them and you're not connected to love, to the truth of who you are. And that doesn't allow for unity to happen, doesn't allow for oneness to happen. And then on the other end, those who feel that coronavirus doesn't even exist, that it's all made up, or that this is part of some, I don't know, sneaky plan or whatever from a certain group of people, and that we should not wear masks because XYZ reasons. When you're just so stuck on that, then you're failing to be able to put yourself in the shoes of those who are afraid, who are being impacted, who are dying, who are getting sick from this. You're, in a sense, unintentionally diminishing their experience and bypassing. And when you're doing that, that keeps you separated. Doesn't really allow for you to come back to oneness. It doesn't allow for you to even come back to love, because especially if you feel like it doesn't even exist, then you're negating the pain, the suffering of those who are being impacted by this, and you're not holding love for them. So there are these two ends, and there's just this massive divide there. And a lot of people are failing to see how this is actually an opportunity for us to connect with one another on a deeper level. Even if we have a difference of opinions and views, it's about really being able to see the other and how they're feeling, what they're going through, and just being able to hold space for them through love and compassion. Now, what my guides wanted me to share today is, questions or an answer concerning whether it's right or wrong to wear a mask. What is the right thing to do here? And what they wanted me to share is that there is no right or wrong. There is only what you feel is in true alignment with you. What you feel is the right thing to do for you. What you feel called to do that's right for you. And just making sure that this is not coming from a place of ego. That this is not coming from your boxed way of thinking and just your own perspective, but rather that you're having greater love inside of yourself and you're choosing to do what's right for you from this place of love. Does that make sense? So you can either choose to wear a mask from a place of love, or you can choose to not wear a mask from a place of love. But when you choose to not wear a mask, for example, because you're coming at it from an energy and intention of feeling like you're being repressed and that your rights are being taken away and that it's not fair to you, and just feeling frustration and anger and all this other stuff, then you're not in alignment with love. It's an opportunity there for you to look at yourself more closely to see why you're feeling this way, why you're feeling oppressed and outraged that you have to wear one if you have to, or whatever it is, and to look at that more closely so that you can move through your own egoic things, move through your own perspective, and shift out of that to come back to love and come back from it from a place of greater understanding. So that even if you decide not to wear a mask, at least you've released your own stuff and you've expanded your consciousness to really understand how others are feeling and what they're going through. And you do it from that place. Does that make sense? I want to share this because I am a teacher of spiritual awakening and expanding one's consciousness. And 2020 has taught me a lot about learning to get out of my own perspective, my own beliefs, my own little box of, what I think reality is or should be. And I've been being humbled all year long to just go beyond my own perspective and open my heart again and again to really embrace more love and unity. So I want to share something with you that I hope helps you. And if you follow me on Instagram, my social media links are in the description of this video. But if you follow me on Instagram, you probably remember that I shared this back in March, I believe, when coronavirus first hit. So when coronavirus first hit, there was a lot of fear energy, a lot of dense energy, and it was very difficult for me to go to supermarkets because the energy was really, really intense. Now, at the start of coronavirus, I was just like maybe many of you in my own little ego, in my own world, thinking, I'm not going to manifest this. And I'm very suspicious of where this came from. And I don't know if I believe that this is true. And people are just allowing themselves to be manipulated. Like I had all of my egoic beliefs, my own egoic beliefs. But of course, me being the teacher of consciousness that I am, the universe course corrected me. So there was this one instance when I was in the supermarket and the energy just felt so dense and heavy. And I was trying my best to protect my energy. And I was doing my best to do what I normally do to keep my energy secure, and it wasn't working. And I just kept feeling it, and it was just so uncomfortable to me to feel that way. And I was getting frustrated with my guides because I was like, why aren't you helping me? Don't you see I'm trying to protect my energy and keep these people's energy off of me? Like, why aren't you doing what you're doing? You're supposed to be doing. And then I can't remember if they told me or if it just hit me. But all of a sudden I had this realization that that's what people who don't have the spiritual understandings like I do, who don't have the abilities like I do, that's what they're going through. And they can't escape it. It's not as simple as, protecting their energy and then they're done and they feel better. Like they don't know this information. They're dealing with the deep fear and anxiety and panic and worry, like days on end, because of what this situation was triggering inside of them, and they can't catch a break. They're legitimately feeling so stressed out. And I have the luxury of knowing how to move through my emotions. I have the luxury of having abilities to help me to clear those things and to not be affected by the energy so much, and to move myself through all of that with more ease and grace. Meanwhile, other people don't. This is nonstop impacting them. And when I was able to have that greater understanding, my heart opened up, and I was able to have so much more compassion and love for those people. To really understand that this is not just about me and my own little bubble, living my best high vibrational life and never being affected by the 3D world. This was a humbling experience for me to understand that, yeah, it's all good and I can live in my world, but there are people out there who are suffering, and I can't just bypass their suffering, and I can't just ignore it and be like, oh yeah, it's not my problem. No, because then that would just keep me further separated from them. I needed to really see and experience what they were feeling, what they were experiencing, to have love and compassion for them, understanding, empathy. And from that place of having this greater love for them, I'm able to support them better, because then I'm radiating love to assist them with all of that fear that they're holding. And I make a big impact. Instead of me holding my energy in this way, holding all of this high vibrational energy, this love just for myself, by having that experience, I was able to understand them and have so much compassion for them and expand that energy of love for everyone there. And this is why I have created a playlist here on my channel titled Spiritual Activism versus Spiritual Bypassing. I will link it up here afterwards for you to check it out, or you can look through my channel. But I've been bringing forward messages the last couple of months that my guides have been asking me to bring forward, to give different perspectives on spirituality and how to best support other people with their ascension process, their awakening journey, with helping bring in this new earth. And I've been speaking on how, this is not necessarily about us staying in our little 5D bubbles, living our best lives, never being affected, letting people be there and think, well, they're 3D and they've chosen to live that reality, live that experience, that's on them or whatever, and then just wipe our hands clean and move on with our lives. Like, yeah, to a certain extent, you are helping the world become better by you raising your vibration and holding a higher frequency and all this other stuff. But the way to make a greater impact, the way to assist other people, is by becoming strong in yourself in that way, but also expanding yourself to hold space for other people as they're going through this, right? I talk about this more in my last video. I think it was my last video. I don't know. Feel free to go through those videos on that playlist and have a greater understanding of what I'm bringing forward today. But I had to go through that experience to humble myself and to really start opening my heart on that level. And another experience that I had was maybe a month and a half ago or so. All of a sudden, one evening, I felt a lot of pain inside of my chest, but it wasn't my heart. I could feel that it was clearly my lungs. And I had trouble breathing. It was very difficult for me to breathe. It felt like someone was just stepping on my chest. And I wasn't gasping for air, but it just felt really, really hard to breathe. And I couldn't understand what was happening. I was just trying to breathe through it. I was like, I don't know what this is going on. Maybe I'm just out of alignment. And this is my higher self telling me to stop working or something. And I just let it go. But it just kept getting stronger. And it just felt like I was being stabbed in the lung with something. And I couldn't understand why. And by then it was just late. And I didn't want to do healing work on myself. because it was just late. I was like, I'll just, if this is still around till tomorrow, then I'll do it. And I went to bed putting some essential oils on my throat and things to hopefully have it go away. But of course, the next morning I woke up still feeling horrible because your girl over here doesn't have it that easy. Like, these natural remedies don't work for me. I have to do the deeper healing because of my path and my journey. And I had to do the healing work around that because it was so uncomfortable, so painful, so heavy. It was so bad. And when I finally did my healing, I moved through it. Then all of a sudden, all of that just lifted and it went away. But it really helped me for even just, a few hours as I was feeling that intensity of that pain and that frustration, because initially, not frustration, but the discomfort. Initially, I thought it was coronavirus, and I was like, oh my God, is this coronavirus? And I heard my guide say, like, no, it's not coronavirus. And I'm like, okay. But then it kept getting stronger and stronger. So anyway, by the time I finally released it, when I finally let that go and I could feel my body going back to normal again, it just really put things into perspective for me to really understand, like, wow, like, I felt this for just a few hours and it felt so horrible and just uncomfortable. And like, is this how people with coronavirus feel? Is this what they're going through? And they're going through it much worse than myself, because there are some people that literally have so much trouble breathing and, they're choking or whatever it is. And I only had that for a few hours and it was so painful and horrible for me. And it did cause me a little bit of anxiety because it just felt so bad. And I can't even imagine what it must be like to be a person being affected by this, and having been exposed to all the things in the media about how dangerous this is, and then you living it and experiencing it and feeling fearful for your life and feeling worried whether or not you're going to get better. And then I was able to really be like, wow, and what about people with chronic illness who have these illnesses, these situations, these things in their bodies that make it difficult for them to do normal, small, everyday things. Like, it's really painful for them and hard for them to try to have normal lives, to try to keep a positive attitude, to try to, just move forward. It's hard for them when you're feeling this, when you're going through this. And when I had that understanding, that realization, my heart was able to open up even more, because I was able to go beyond my own perspective and I was able to see things from the perspective of other people and to feel what they're feeling, and to, by doing so, having more compassion and empathy and understanding for them. And that is part of what coronavirus is teaching us, because it's teaching us on so many different levels, so many different things. But part of what it's teaching us right now in regards to the mask wearing is getting out of our own heads and dropping down into our hearts and taking action when it comes to wearing the mask or not wearing the mask from a place of love, from a place of compassion and understanding for one another, rather than continue to just view things from our perspective and then be triggered by other people who aren't doing what we want them to do, or who are doing things that we don't think they should be doing, or whatever. This is about us really connecting to our hearts and doing things from a place of love, and being willing to just contemplate what other people must be going through for them to approach coronavirus the way that they are, what they must be feeling and experiencing, and having just greater acceptance. That is the message that I was asked to bring forward today in regards to this. As I said, you have to choose what is right for you, when it comes to wearing the mask. You can choose to wear it or not wear it from a place of love. It's up to you. And I feel like I need to share this. I have chosen to wear the mask out of a place of love. Firstly, in my country, we have to wear them. But even if I didn't have to wear them, in certain places, especially that are more populated, I would definitely wear it for the well-being and safety of other people who don't have maybe my belief system, my abilities, my level of understanding of things, and who would feel afraid if they saw me not wearing a mask. Out of love and compassion for them, I would wear it. That's just me personally. I'm not here to tell you to do that. But that's how I see it, and for so many different reasons. So I want you to understand that this is something that is a legitimate threat, that is impacting people, that is killing people. Don't allow yourself to, or I can't tell you not to, you have to make your own decision, but I encourage you to not get so caught up in all of these minor details around how coronavirus came to be, or who is behind it, or any other things. Don't get so caught up on the problems. Have awareness of the issues, but don't get so caught up in them that you fail to be able to connect with other fellow human beings and to understand what they're going through. Now, when it comes to coronavirus, there's something I want to share before I head off. My relative, my uncle, passed away a couple of days ago because of coronavirus. And he was perfectly healthy, very active all of his life. He was a police officer. And this was something that was completely unexpected. And in less than 2 weeks, he lost his battle with coronavirus. He never had any other health issues. It was purely coronavirus. And it was legitimately coronavirus for anyone doubting, because I know there's a lot of people out there who say that hospitals are encouraging to label everyone as dying from coronavirus, and I'm not saying that that's not true. What I'm saying here is that there are people who are really dying from it, and my uncle was one of those people. And this was coronavirus because I called him as well. And when I spoke to him, when I found out he was sick, he could barely talk to me. And the way he sounded didn't sound like anything else I had ever heard when it comes to throat problems, lung problems, issues like that. Not your common flu, bronchitis, any of that. It was really, really bad. We could only speak for not even a minute. And that is what happened. So I want you to understand that this is something that truly exists. Those of us who can read energy, who are psychics, we can see the energy of it. It is impacting people. And please just do your best to open your mind, open your heart, choose to see the other from a place of love, choose to have compassion and empathy for them. You're on your journey of figuring that out. We're all coming back to love. We're all learning how to shift out of our egos and back to our divine truth. And I hope that my journey, my experience that I've shared with you today has really helped you to understand that even if you haven't really been maybe being as loving as you could be, or you've been bypassing in some kind of way, it's okay. It's part of your journey. It's part of you coming back to the truth of who you are. But this is part of the process. This is part of you aligning yourself with your truth again. Is you sometimes have to be in that very egoic place to see the error of your ways and to come back to your truth. This is how we have a holistic kind of understanding of ourselves and others in the world. We got to experience all sides of it. So if you, after watching this video, feel like you have unintentionally been being self-righteous, or maybe haven't really been seeing the perspective of others who are being impacted by this, it's okay. Just do your best moving forward to have a greater level of compassion, understanding for people, because this is how you really can hold the space, hold the energy of love to really support people on their path and to really assist them with their ascension process, with their journey. So that is what I wanted to share today with all of you. I really hope that this has helped you in some kind of way. If you have enjoyed this message, please give this video a thumbs up, a like wherever you're watching from. If you want to share your thoughts, your experiences with me in the comments below, I would love to hear from you. I just want to create an open dialogue. Like I said, take whatever resonated with you from this video today and leave what doesn't. Go on your own journey and you'll figure out the divine truth for yourself. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of these videos. Change the bell notification settings to all so that you never miss out on a notification from me. And if you want to stay in touch with me, my social media links are in the description of this video for you to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I have a Facebook community that I'm going to be making lots of positive changes in. So if you want to be part of an amazing community where you can continue to be supported on your spiritual journey, your growth, on creating your impact with your business, come and hang out with us there. The links to all of that are in the description of the video. So thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate all of you so much. I send you all so much love, and just keep doing your best to move yourself through your ascension process to help change the world for the better. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.